TV, Player Connect at pilotgames.com/PilotTV, YouTube Live, as well as the Twitch app. Our channel name is MegaSota on both YouTube Live and Twitch.
Awesome stuff. But of course, we have been sending out a lot of those brand new Pilot TVs to a lot of new places. And these are the newest places that have gotten them. So shout out to the following: Scoops Pub and Grill, Muddy Cow Coon Rapids, Chanticleer Pizza Coon Rapids, Burke's Pub and Grub, American Legion in Chaska, Happy Hour Inn, The Corner, Howling Dog Pub, Andy's Bar and Grill, Oldenburg Brewing Company, and Lindsay's Barbecue and Grill.
Yeah, definitely awesome to see those locations. We'll be getting a bunch of more locations added to this list soon, as I know there's a lot more of those Pilot TVs going out very, very soon. We got a bunch of players 10 balls away, though, as we got Loser Dave out there. Been a while since I've seen you, Loser Dave, getting after it. One of our top players in former seasons, so maybe we'll see him start getting after it in this season 13. But before we get into standings and all that kind of stuff, we do have jackpots to go over, as we've given out 23 jackpots over the last 7 days, 145 jackpots during the season 13, and 4 of those jackpots just went out yesterday.
That's right. And starting it off, it was Fancy R over at Neeson's Riverside Sports Bar, taking away $920. Nice job to Fancy.
What do you think the R stands for?
I don't know.
You know, the fancy R. What's the R? A fancy ride?
Fancy ride, yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, we'll go with
Fancy Riverside.
What would be your fancy ride if you could choose a fancy, a cool get up?
Man, I don't know. Probably just like a really nice car.
Do you have a dream? Do you not have a dream car of any kind?
There's this electric truck that looks really cool, like the Rivian or whatever.
Ooh.
But we do have Griffey over at Fireside Getaway in Forest Lake, taking away that must go of $19.30. Nice job to you, Griffey. Yeah, I'm not a huge car guy, so
yeah, I can get that. I would probably get some
maybe like a big old yacht.
Oh, that's a fancy ride right there. That's one that I feel like you and as well as your girlfriend would very much appreciate, you getting a thing like that.
100%.
That would be so fun. So yeah, that I could definitely see that, a nice little boat yacht area. Just live on it. Yeah. Just stay on it for the rest of it. That seems I've seen like there's stories of people just living on their yachts, and I'm like, man, like, what? Can I do that? Like, can I just
seriously
do that right now? Like,
I mean, like, it's just, I mean, if you're buying, it's basically like buying a house. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's just on the water. You just got to get used to not getting seasick. Well, good job, Fancy R. We also had Mark M over at Papa Ali Bar and Grill, taking home $4,959. That's a fun location name, Papa Ali's. Yeah, just because it makes me think of skateboarding as well as it's just like, Papa Ali's kind of deal. Yeah, good job to Mark M.
100%. But up next, it was none other than Deb over at the Uptown Bar in Waverly, taking away $825. Nice job to Deb. But of course, the last jackpot of the day went out to Big Ticket over at Eagles Rochester, taking away a hefty jackpot of their own. $4,458 going out to Big Ticket. Nice job to you and the rest of the winners.
Yeah, definitely some awesome stuff there. Definitely awesome. Good job, Big Ticket. I was just talking with Jordy yesterday as Big Ticket reminded me of this conversation of how I have a bucket list of that I want to go to the Super Bowl at least once in my life. Like, that just seems like I want to go to an NBA Finals at one point in my life. I want to go to a Super Bowl at some point in my life, an MLB Finals at some point. I feel like I want to go to all those sporting event, big games at least one point in my life. And I was actually looking at it as I was like, next year would be such a fun Super Bowl to go to because it's going to be in Las Vegas. Yeah. And so I was already looking up tickets. It's like, but it's like $5,000 to buy these Super Bowls tickets. Okay. But if you want to get Super Bowl tickets with hotel and travel and everything like that for next year, it's only like $5,000.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe I'll just get the ticket sometime. I mean, that seems like a great reason to go to Vegas.
Yeah, 100%. Save up for the travel and hotel later maybe or something like that.
Do you have a sporting event that you would love to go to at least at one point?
Probably, I think the World Cup would be really cool to go to.
World Cup would be a really, really cool one.
The Olympics would be really cool.
That would be sick to go to, especially if we had a USA Olympics. Like, to go to that one, that would be so fun.
And I think if like one of my favorite teams made like the NBA finals, I think that'd be cool to go to like the final game.
I get that. That's totally would be fun as well. Like if you could go to like if it somehow made it to a game 7, that would be absolutely just electric. We do have balls dropping in this game though. 17 balls away for a bunch of these players, and we'll see if we can give out this prize. Minor prizes clicked up to 54 balls or less in this game number 2. But if you guys aren't playing our live bingo right now, check out our newest E-Tab game, Lucky Star. See if you can win big in the Wild Star bonus and take home some really good prizes in that newest E-Tab game.
Yeah, 100%. But if you want to keep updated with all those new games that we do release, give us a like and follow on our Facebook page. Search at Pilot Games and you'll see our logo. That way you can see weekly bingo schedules, event details and reminders, big progressives, player pictures, and a lot more than that too. You can also click the website link on our Facebook to see our link tree. Has links to bar locations, other social media pages like Twitter and Instagram, and a lot more than that too.
Yeah, so definitely check out everything that we have to offer on that Facebook page. We are at 46 balls dropped on this game, 7 balls away for a bunch of our players, as it looks like we are moving past that minor prize availability and moving on to working on a must-go of $26.30 in this game number 2. But we'll be playing this game day bingo with you guys all the way till 1 o'clock, and that's when we'll leave you off for some Lucky 4 bingo right at 1 p.m. $78,000 will be available in that first opportunity of Lucky 4 bingo, so make sure you guys are sticking around for it, and then you'll lead you into some unhosted game day bingo running from 1 all the way till 4, which you'll play all the way up until our happy hour bingo that gets started right at 4 p.m.
That's right, and starting with it is that second chance of Lucky 4 bingo, so definitely keep that one in mind. But before we go further, we do a player over Corner Bar in Waterville taking away $26.30. Nice job to you, player. But of course, kicking off that happy hour bingo is that second chance at Lucky 4 bingo. And then we go through a bunch of Skull Bingo games, the $1 edition, of course. During that time, from 4 to 6 tonight, we can get a chance at the line prize of $171 in 10 balls or less to win. That large frame jackpot is at $980 and 43 balls or less to win. And of course, the coverall jackpot is at $33,127 in 50 balls or less to win. So definitely try and get a chance at all 3 of those jackpots tonight from 4 to 6 during that Skull Bingo time slot.
Oh yeah, then we end off the happy hour with a little bit of Lucky 4 bingo at 6 p.m. where if you haven't, the $78,000 hasn't gone out, that will be your final opportunity at that huge prize at 6 p.m. for today. And that'll lead you into more game day bingo games where all those prizes that have been building up throughout today from 12 to 1 and then from 1 all the way till 4, you'll have more opportunities during that 6 to 10 games. Mega, major, and minor prize will still be on the line during those game day bingo games, and it should be a lot of fun. As sometimes those games like to be interrupted, and you'll have to wait all the way till next Tuesday for them to be interrupted with those great PGL specialty nights.
That's right. There is 2 PGL specialty nights a week. Starting it off is every single Tuesday, MegaSota game night, starting at 6:40 p.m. Always a lot of fun. Got a lot of great PGL games scattered during that night, including a grand finale of Jackpot Jungle on that coverall jackpot and 54 balls or less to win. It's going to be starting at $8,556 on that Tuesday night next week. So definitely try and get out there and get a chance at it. And the very next day, we got another PGL specialty night because it's Wild Wednesday. Goes from 7 to 9 like it does every single Wednesday. Got a lot of great PGL games in this night too, including some PGL high and low tournament games. They're a lot of fun. It's where the same prize goes out to the biggest loser as the biggest winner. So it's really cool. It makes me feel equal.
Yeah, it is a really, really fun game. I like that we do it. That you might not be earning a lot of PGO points to aid to your top 10s, but you'll still be taking home some good cash in those games. So
100%.
Definitely check out all of that Wild Wednesday action.
That's right. But, of course, we do have some national days to get into. And starting off our whole big national day list, it is National Bubblegum Day. Celebrating this on the first Friday of February every year doesn't burst many people's bubbles. It's a fun way to chew your favorite flavor of bubble gum. You can blow some spectacular bubbles and raise some money too. And so there's a fundraising aspect to this.
Yes, there must be.
Maybe some sort of.
Let's look up the national day so then we can figure it out.
Bubblegum Day. I wonder what charity would be supporting.
Yeah, that definitely. I would love to figure this out.
Oh, money for schools.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So on February 3rd, kids can buy the usually forbidden privilege of chewing gum in class if they make a donation of 50 cents. While there might be some distractions in class, like smacking and bubble blowing, kids learn about the value of charity, and schools make a little money for the causes they support. Oh, and kids also get one day to break the classic no gum rule.
Yeah.
I think we did do this sometimes in school.
Yeah.
We did this for hats too. I
Did
don't
you?
I don't know if you remember if your school ever did that. But there's like one Friday one time where it's like you could pay $1 and you could wear whatever hat you wanted. And like you could wear it all day, like nobody could tell you to take it off, kind of thing.
Sacred Heart, where I went, it had a similar thing, but it was kind of a every Friday deal for us, as we wore uniforms every single day, and it was whether you either brought a non-perishable food item or $1 to school, and you could wear like jeans and a t-shirt to school instead of wearing the classic polo and khakis that we had to wear every single day. So that was a way we did stuff, but then we also had specialty days like that. And I remember I had one singular classroom that we did the bubble gum thing, and as he was one of there was a lot of teachers that just let us chew gum wherever we wanted, but he was one of those teachers that was like, no gum in my class kind of thing. Take it out as soon as you walk into the door. And so he would have those days where he'd be like, bring in 50 cents and we're going to donate to blah, 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 and you guys can chew gum on today or something like that.
Oh, it looks like we may be a little frozen on the app and on Twitch. So, but we'll get that figured out in just 1 second, as we do have a winner. It's Pops over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, taking away $23.50 on that must go. Nice job to you, Pops. But so let's take a look. I'll take a look at the app right now just to make sure we're running smoothly.
Yeah, we'll be taking a quick break as we get enrolled into this next game. We'll be back to hopefully host some more of these great game day bingo games and us get unfrozen. Okay. Hey guys, and we are back for some more of this great game day bingo action. Hopefully we are not as glitchy and pausing all over the place as we were beforehand. We do have that minor prize still available, $189 that you could take home in 58 balls or less. High likelihood we could see it go out in this game number 4 of game day bingo. Just 50 seconds to get rolled into this game. But as we're talking about it, we are talking about National Bubblegum Day, as kids are encouraged to bring 50 cents into school today to support charity so that they can blow bubbles and chew their gum all day long. Yeah. But as we are working on it, we'd also like to know some fun facts about chewing gum.
Yeah, 100%. Let's take a look at what they got going on for us. If you're chewing on gum while cutting onions, this will stop your eyes from watering. The science behind it is while chewing on gum, you will breathe through your mouth rather than through your nose, so the irritation caused by the onion scent will reach the lacrimal gland in smaller amounts.
Ah, I
Interesting.
didn't know that. That's a good little fun fact as well. Another fun fact about chewing gum is that it has 2 national days, actually. This says February 15th, but I think they're just wrong. They're not, because it's February 3rd that it happens,
Yeah.
and September 30th.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered why most chewing gum is pink? Well, an interesting fun fact right here is that the inventor was desperately trying to create the perfect bubble gum, and by the time the recipe reached perfection, the only color he had left to use was pink. Oh, that's funny.
Really?
Nice.
That is really, really interesting. And so it became a staple for bubblegum.
Yeah, and I feel like pink makes the most sense. I mean, like if you're chewing gum, like what is the color that you would want your tongue to be dyed?
Yeah,
I mean,
that is true. I
yeah.
didn't think about the way that it would tie your tongue or anything like that.
Yep.
Well, next fun fact. We all grew up being told that if you swallowed chewing gum, your intestines would get clogged up and your intestines would get stuck together. Sound familiar? Well, in actual fact, this is actually quite rare. If you swallow chewing gum, it will be in your system for a few days before your body will get rid of it. As gum base can't be digested, you will eliminate it as a whole. If you want to read more about it, you can apparently find out on different websites.
Interesting. Okay. Pretty
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
stuff.
So I was also told that gum would be staying in my body for like years and years on end.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I was
no,
like, it was like 7 years that
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna have this gum in my body every time I swallowed it, and so I was always scared to swallow gum.
Yeah.
But you actually just get rid of it after a few days.
That's right. Yeah, it doesn't just stick around, unfortunately. That'd be kind of cool, though. It's like how eating watermelon seeds doesn't cause watermelon to grow in you.
Yeah. I always thought about that when I was eating like poppy seed muffins.
Oh, yeah. No, that was
was
pretty
like,
terrifying.
I'm gonna grow some poppy seeds out my mouth.
Well, not too bad.
And then
It's
I
not the worst.
watched like Poison Ivy in the old Batman flicks, so she would like do stuff
Oh,
like that to
yeah.
people, and then so it freaked me out even more, and so it all went all over the place.
Yeah, but hey, we do have a winner. We got Pops over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards taking away $33.10. Nice job to you, Pops. Taking, I think, a back-to-back win and only a ball away from that minor jackpot. Nice stuff. But, of course, getting into this next game, we got another little chewing gum fact. And it looks like it helps you concentrate. I mean, that makes sense. It's just one of those things. It's like fiddling with your pencil, I
Yeah.
feel like. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things that you're kind of doing like on like instinct. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like kind of like when you're breathing, like you don't really think about breathing. You're just kind of doing it. I feel like it's just another thing to just kind of
Or like
relax
tapping
yourself.
your foot. So
Yeah.
like I feel like that's the kind of like the best example of it is like instead of tapping your foot, you just have chewing gum and to
Yeah.
keep yourself like,
A
you
little
know,
preoccupied slightly. kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, and then I also know that there's like studies that show that if you chew mint gum while you're studying, and then you chew on mint gum while you take your test, it helps you remember the things you studied
Yeah.
more, just because it's more things to relate with the time that you were studying that subject.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That does make sense. That's pretty cool stuff. Chewing gum is pretty awesome. What was your favorite bubble gum though? Since it is bubble gum day.
Ooh, gosh,
There's the Hubba Bubba, the Big League Chew, the Double Bubble. That one was kind of the worst, low key.
yeah. No, I always
The Hubba
was,
Bubba tape,
that was awesome.
and then the watermelon.
Did you ever
bubble
just
gum.
give into the urge and bite into
Yeah,
the whole
oh,
roll?
yeah,
Okay, because
100%,
I
yeah.
just had to make sure that you at least did it one time in your
Yeah,
life,
no,
because it is
You have to try it.
it's so
I mean,
good.
like
It's so
especially
good.
if you own the tape. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you can just do that.
Oh, it was so disappointing when it was like share with your siblings the Hubba Bubba roll. I was like, no,
Like,
I want
no, dude, get us our own.
And then when they would get us our own, I mean, it was just like terrible because we'd all just have
Yeah.
absolute. We couldn't talk for like the rest of the day. It was the perfect way to get us to shut up on a road
that's
trip.
why my mom always got us them on road trips. Yeah,
Yes,
literally.
so smart. Just because then you just keep on putting gum in your mouth, and you never spit out the old gum. You just keep on getting this mass amount of bubble
add
gum
more
in your
flavor to it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I would do. I'm glad that everyone was on the same page as children.
Yeah, no, it's just the same thoughts running through those little brains.
Big League Chew was awesome, especially back when I was like playing t-ball and like coach pitch and stuff like that.
It was kind of fun.
I idolized like Big League Chew.
That's why I got into it too.
Yeah,
because I was like, oh man, it's like baseball gum.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is my sports gum. Like I'm cool.
Yeah, this is what they're chewing in the big leagues for sure. Yeah, and it was like, now it's chewing tobacco.
Yeah, exactly. I totally thought that that's what they were using in the big leagues.
Yeah, exactly. It's got a lot of Big League Chew. Get
Until
in trouble if they catch you with it.
Until one day I asked, I was like, why are they spitting so much?
Yeah,
and then my dad.
Chew doesn't make me spit that much.
And then my dad explained it to me, and I was like, oh, okay.
It's like, oh, I guess it isn't chew.
It's not my Big League Chew they have, but that was Big League Chew is like a staple for me as a kid. It wasn't my favorite, like when I think back on like flavor and everything like that.
Probably the tape was probably the best to me.
What's the one with the goose on it?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about with the punk goose.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like squares.
Yeah, those are really good too.
That might be my favorite as a kid. Like when I got that was like a gum treat.
It was bubble yum.
Bubble yum?
Yeah, it was bubble yum.
Yeah, bubble yum was super, super tasty. That was my favorite as you'd get those. And, like, that was more of like a treat bubble gum, though. Like, where it was almost like eating like a candy, like, of sorts that you just couldn't swallow.
Even the Hubba Bubba squares were also kind of like that. The watermelon one was crazy.
Yeah. Do you have any current favorite bubble gum?
I mean, like for me, I really only ever chewed mint gum now, to be honest. So it'd be like 5 gum.
Yeah,
that, like would be my favorite. I like the strawberry 5 gum too, to be honest. It's really good.
I like the icebreaker cubes.
Oh, those are good. Yeah, those are. I like the grape ones.
Yeah, super really tasty.
Good.
I mean, really all the flavors I really enjoy. Well, happy Bubblegum Day on today. Definitely a great day to get some chewing gum and enjoy. Definitely a great one on today. Big Red, another anotable mention one there.
Yeah,
as I loved it.
I just didn't want to mention it, just out of respect for you. It's one of those things.
It's one of those things. That is the one thing I try every time. Yeah. I'm like, can I please have some Big Red gum? And then I try it. My tongue swells up, and I'm like, dang it, I'm still allergic. Yeah. So then I just can't have it for another 3 years, and then I attempt again.
Too.
I completely agree. Yeah. But with all those candies and gum and everything like that, I feel like at least I can get lumped into the people that hate those candies.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that don't like it.
It's a very split room when it comes to the cinnamon hot candy.
Very true. It's almost as polarizing as candy corn.
Yes, for sure.
We do have a winner. We got a couple of them. We got Bobo over at Corner Bar in Goodhue and 69 T-Bird over at VFW Crystal. Both of them splitting up $51.30 on a must-go prize. Nice job to you two. But good news for the rest of everybody else. That minor jackpot is clicking up to 62 balls or less to win. Now weighing in over $300 on that minor jackpot. And of course, at the same time, you can still win the major jackpot at $1,000 and 48 balls or less to win. You could even take home the mega jackpot too if you're getting pretty lucky. 10 grand at 45 balls or less to win. All three of those prizes looking pretty good. Only 2 minutes away from getting enrolled.
Yeah, game number 6. But as we're going to continue on through our National Day list, we have a little bit more of a serious one, and that is National Missing Persons Day. On February 3rd, National Missing Persons Day focuses the country's attention long enough to recognize a missing person. Yeah, it's one of those things that is absolutely horrible. There's people that go missing all the time, and we want to stay vigilant in being able to help out and be as proactive as we can in those kinds of situations.
Yeah, and I think we're really lucky, in today, like in today's society, just because like you think back 100 years ago, how much harder it was to like go through that and find like missing people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And now it's like we have a lot of technology to help. There's a lot more systems in place, I think, to help missing people and that sort of thing.
As well as recognizing that they're missing way earlier on than when we used to.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing like the 48-hour rule. You know what I mean? Where it's like they're very pressed to find them during the first 48 hours or whatever. And I think it's very cool that we have days like this to recognize the importance.
Yeah, and hopefully we can develop even more technology to be able to make it just eradicate all missing people from the earth. I mean, that would be just great. Unless you want to go missing and just disappear from everyone else.
That's a little different. Yeah. And then you're just like, this is hermit day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Well, which I can relate with that.
Well, definitely. Have put a little bit more attention towards. I
think there's definitely a lot of organizations and foundations you can like donate to if you like doing those sort of things. You can also educate yourself about it. Like I'm sure all those organizations have like very informational things to go along with it. So definitely maybe look up things and find out how you can educate yourself about Missing Persons Day.
Yeah. Next up on this day, it's another tragic day, as it's National The Day the Music Died Day. The Day the Music Died Day on February 3rd remembers the unfortunate and untimely deaths of singer 22-year-old Buddy Holly, 17-year-old Richie Valens, and 28-year-old PJ Richardson, aka the Big Bopper. These three artists died in an airplane accident in February 3rd, 1959, near Clear Lake, Iowa. Their pilot, Roger Peter, also perished in the crash. It was just a really sad where we lost a lot of amazing artists.
So it's definitely just a sad day, and a day it has been recognized for a long time as the day the music died. So.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. It's so many. I mean, I just wonder how much more music we would have gotten out of those amazing artists if that would have never happened. But they definitely left their mark, even in the short lives that they did live.
Exactly. So it's definitely a day to remember, National The Day the Music Died Day. But we do have a few more national days to get into, and we got a couple food ones. We got a couple more important ones, too. But starting it off with this next one is National Carrot Cake Day. This day on February 3rd celebrates one of America's favorite flavors of cake. In the carrot cake, we get to eat our cake and our veggies, too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was like really scared of carrot cake as a kid.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is gonna be disgusting. Like there's no way I could ever like carrot cake.
Yeah,
I tried it.
It was weird.
I finally tried it. Like at one point, I think I haven't had it in a while, but it was like after 18 years old, I ended up trying it.
Oh well, you didn't have it all the way up to that.
Yeah, I was like,
wow.
I just was like refused to have any carrot cake just because I was like,
wow.
I don't want carrot cake. I was like, why would I eat carrot cake? Like I'm having cake. Why would I put carrots?
Yeah, it's kind of good though.
But then I tried it and I was surprised. I was like, it's good. I liked it a lot.
Well, like to be honest, you think about like how how good carrots are in that caramelized honey sauce.
Yeah.
Like dude, like carrots are good when they're sweet, and I think they add that nice little bit of texture to it. But we do have a winner. We got NHBJMK over at Shimity's Timeout Tavern and Yags 370 over at Riverboat Depot. Both of those players splitting up a minor jackpot of $329. Nice job to the both of you taking that one away. But of course, carrot cake, it is a cake that contains carrots mixed into the batter.
Yeah, fun little fact. Those orange little carrot flakes, the cut carrot that are in that cake, actually give it texture along with sweetness and moisture.
Interesting. Yeah.
That makes sense because I've never had a dry carrot cake, and so that would make sense that the carrots give it moisture as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Many carrot cake recipes have optional ingredients. You can put nuts, raisins, pineapple, or even coconut in there too.
Pineapple.
I think the one I've had it mostly with maybe nuts on top.
Yes.
But other than that, I think cream cheese is really the must need.
That's the go-to. I mean? Yeah, you got to have a little bit of cream cheese on there.
Yeah.
Carrot cake may be eaten plain, but is commonly either glazed or covered with white icing or cream cheese, icing, and walnuts, often cut. Often they are decorated with frosting or marzipan made to look like carrots. They are popular in loaves, sheet cake, and cupcake form.
Yeah, they're good in
Ah.
cupcakes, to be honest.
Yeah, and you could actually find them in packaged grocery stores, fresh and fresh at bakeries.
Dude, carrot cake. Have you ever had like those stuffed cupcakes? You know, where they have the icing on top, but the icing goes in a little bit too, or maybe it's like
Yes.
strawberry glaze.
Yes,
stuffed
I've
inside
had
and
stuff like that.
They have one for carrot cake, and the cream cheese just goes inside, and it's so good like that.
Okay, that
It's so
sounds.
good.
I mean, especially as a kid, I would have went crazy about it.
Yeah.
Now I like a little bit
more muffin. Yeah,
muffin
yeah,
on
yeah.
my on it. But as a kid, the more icing I could get, the more
Dude, it was
any of
awesome.
the
Especially
sweetness.
cream cheese. Yeah.
So good. Yeah, that's definitely some awesome stuff. Do you want to tell you what's funny? My parents couldn't tell me that it was cream cheese, even though I didn't mind cream chease. As a kid,
Yeah, it was
as
just
soon
one of
as I
those
heard
things.
that it was cream cheese on the cake, like cream cheese icing, I was like, ew, I don't want that.
What are you
No,
talking about, dude? cream cheese and carrots.
disgusting.
Yeah.
No, now I'm like, how did I not have this earlier?
100%.
But actually, the origin of carrot cake is actually disputed.
Oh.
Published in 1591, there's an English recipe for pudding in a carrot root. Okay, that is essentially a stuffed carrot with meat, but it includes many elements common to the modern dessert: shortening, cream, eggs, raisins, sweetener, spices, scraped carrots, and breadcrumbs. Definitely. Many food historians believe carrot cake originated from such carrot pudding, eaten by Europeans in the Middle Ages, when sugar and sweetener were expensive and many people used carrots as a substitute for sugar. Variations of the carrot pudding evolved into baking with a crust, as like pumpkin pie, steamed with a sauce, or molded in pans like a plum pudding with icing. And it's in volume 2 of L'Art du Cuisinier, and the former chef
I think it's
of
Antoine Beauvilliers.
the former chef of Louis the 16th. Is that what it is? 14th?
Yeah, I think it's 16th.
Included a recipe for which
Gâteau de carrots?
Gâteau de carrots, which was popular enough to be copied verbatim in competitors' cookbooks in 1824. He had published in London an English version of his cookbook, which included a recipe for carrot cakes in a literal translation of his earlier recipe. Okay, so that looks like that was the first, published thing of carrot cakes, but a lot of people say that basically carrot cakes originated from that carrot pudding that was made during 1591.
Interesting. That's pretty cool stuff. Well, a lot of carrot history for you guys. Happy National Carrot Cake Day, and have a good one. Maybe go out and get a carrot cake for yourself, or even make one at home if you feel like it. Maybe you can put some purple carrots in there, get some cool colors and stuff too.
Yeah.
But of course, up next, we do have another very important day. But before we get into it, we do have a couple winners. We have Lucky Raj over at Vic's Bar and Grill and AC Note over at Schiffler's Liquor. Both of them taking away that must go and splitting it up, $88.80. But of course, this next national day, it is National Wear Red Day. This day on the first Friday in February is an annual campaign to raise awareness about heart disease in women.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Always want to highlight different diseases and being able to raise awareness as well as raise funds for helping research or the curing people with heart disease so we can extend lives. I mean, just absolutely huge stuff.
Well, yeah, 100%. So definitely interesting stuff. And I know, isn't there a difference between heart disease in women and men? Like there's a pretty big kind of difference in how I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure.
Maybe the causes are a little different or something like that.
It definitely could be the case. I really am ignorant about the subject
Yeah, I
of
kind of
any
am
kind
as
of
well.
heart
Yeah.
disease.
But yeah, I mean, it's important though. So heart disease. It's wearing red today to show. Okay. I see. Yeah. So there is a little bit of a difference. So women are more likely to develop this buildup in the heart's smallest blood vessels, known as the microvasculature. And so men typically develop this plaque buildup in the large. Barking at the screen. We got men typically developing this plaque buildup in the largest arteries that supply blood to the heart, and women are more likely to develop that buildup.
Okay. Definitely interesting. As you know, it's all both related to accumulation of cholesterol. Super important stuff. Yeah, maybe eat your Cheerios on today to lower that cholesterol. Lower that cholesterol. Super important stuff. Yeah, I need to just get back into like eating breakfast on a consistent basis. I skip breakfast way too too often.
100%. I'm just gonna force myself to wake up at the same time, like every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just so like no matter what I'm doing that day.
That's what I've started to do is I just wake up at least at 7 o'clock every day. Most of the time I'm waking up at 6 o'clock. If I'm getting a workout in that morning, I'm definitely waking up at 6 o'clock. We do just have 25 seconds to get enrolled in this one. Make sure you guys are doing so. We got a minor prize, 54 balls or less, $68. A major prize of $1,000 you can take home in 48 balls or less. And a mega prize of $10,000 you can take home in 45 balls or less. But next up on our national day list is National Women Physicians Day. On February 3rd, honored the path that female doctors have paved since 1849 as we recognize National Women's Physicians Day.
Yeah, super important. Super cool stuff. Yeah. I guess we can look into the little bit into the history of it, I guess, of Women Physicians Day.
Well, actually, I wanna go talk about actually one of our celebrity birthdays, and I think she's actually the first person on our celebrity birthday list.
Sweet.
As this is probably why this is today, and born today in 1821 is Elizabeth Blackwell, an English-American physician who was the first woman to receive a medical degree in the United States.
That's awesome.
Absolutely awesome stuff. Yeah. Really cool. And, when we're talking about people to pave the way for women in the medical field, Elizabeth Blackwell, one of the biggest key contributors to it.
Yeah, she was a British physician, notable as the first woman to receive a medical degree in the United States, and the first woman on the medical register of the General Medical Council for the United Kingdom. So really cool stuff. Really awesome stuff. She lived a pretty long life as well. She was born in 1821. That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Some other
they have 10 women medical pioneers on that one.
Yeah, let's look at some of these. We'll talk about some of them. Elizabeth Blackwell, a fabulous first is what they titled her as she was the first woman in the United States to be granted an MD degree.
That's awesome.
Absolutely really cool.
And then Rebecca Lee Crumpler. She was born in 1831, only 10 years after her. She was an African-American pioneer. She was the first African-American woman in the United States to earn an MD degree. She was inspired by an aunt who took care of many ill neighbors. She said, I early conceived a liking for and sought every opportunity to relieve the suffering of others.
Wow.
She wrote in her groundbreaking 1883 publication, a book of medical discourses in 2 parts.
Wow, that's really cool. What a cool person in medical history. Mary Putnam Jacob. She was born in 1842, and she was interested in biology from the time she was young, and even briefly considered dissecting a dead rat, and found she found to get a glimpse at its heart.
She briefly considered it.
Oh.
Because she was just so shoved away from any education regarding it. Wow. So she was just trying to learn at any cost.
Just at any.
But we do have a couple winners. We got Anna over at Royal Bar, splitting it up with another player that we'll get right into as well.
And we'll be talking about those winners from game number 8 in just a little bit.
That's right. But Mary Putnam Jacoby, really cool woman. So she was just very shoved away, obviously, from education regarding medical procedures and all that sort of stuff. But she was the first woman to ever Oh, okay. She managed to study at a really like high-profile medicine school in Paris. She was the first woman to ever do so.
Ah, and the other winner from that game was Pops over at Carboni's Pizza, CR Billiards, as well as Pub at Wildcat Bar and Grill. They all split up $26 on that must-go.
Nice job to you guys. But Jacoby not only did that, she fought very hard for her female peers as well, just being an activist as well as a great doctor.
That's really, really cool. And final one we can talk about is Susan
Susan LaFlèche Picotte, maybe?
Yeah, that's what it would look like to me. And she was when she was young, she saw a Native American woman die because of a white doctor refusing to care for her. Years later, she became the first Native American woman in the United States to earn a medical degree. She was daughter of the Oahu chief who believed in partnering with white reform groups. Picotte studied in New Jersey and then taught at a Quaker school on the Omaha reservation.
Yeah, I mean, really, really cool stuff. The first Native American woman doctor. That is awesome, awesome stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Well, happy National Women Physicians Day. Definitely some really big people that have been a part of that.
Oh, 100%. It's definitely a good one to look into and educate yourself on as well. But we do have our last National Day today. It is for Chaplains Day. This honors 4 military chaplains from World War II who sacrificed their lives for fellow service members.
Yeah, let's find out a little bit more about this, as we would like to be able to talk more about them. Chaplains in the military are an integral part of the service environment. They provide counseling, spiritual guidance, conduct services, and religious rites, among other responsibilities, and serves all over the globe. If there are military personnel stationed there, chaplains are too. During World War II, 4 chaplains who had attended chaplain school together at Harvard boarded the Dorchester en route to Army Command Base in southern Greenland. Aboard the ship were 904 service members. The 4 chaplains were Reverend George L. Fox, a Methodist minister, Reverend Clark V. Poling, a Reformed Church of America, Rabbi Alexander D. Good, and Father John P. Washington of the Roman Catholic Church. Their voyage began in January 23, 1943. At the time, German U-boats were patrolling the area, and the convoy was on high alert when a German submarine torpedoed the Dorchester on February 3rd, 1943, in the frigid waters off the coast of Newfoundland. Chaos ensued.
Yeah, so it's just eyewitnesses recounted the chaplain's heroism, including giving their life jackets and gloves to other service members. They prayed with service members, assisting them into lifeboats. The 4 chaplains remained on the sinking Dorchester. Only 230 men ended up being rescued from the waters.
Wow.
Congress awarded the 4 chaplains the 4 Chaplains Medal in 1960.
Wow, that is a crazy story.
Yeah.
I mean, just of sacrifice, of trying to do what's right in the situation, you know. I mean, like, there's no right way to go about it, whether they got on the boats or not.
Mm-hmm.
But to give up your spots for people who didn't sign up to be a part of a war. They signed up to be a part of a war, but they were just there to be the emotional support of the soldiers, and went out there and made the biggest sacrifice. Happy 4 Chaplains Day.
Yeah, that's right. But we do have a couple winners. We got Nan over at Corky's Bar in South Haven and Lucky Raj over at Vic's Bar and Grill in Moorhead. Both of them splitting up $21.90. Nice job to you guys. But we had a lot of great, really important national days today, so definitely look into them and maybe you can learn about them as well. But we do have a little bit of stuff to get into, as we are only about 2 minutes away from this next game of Game Day Bingo. We got that minor jackpot over $120 and 58 balls or less to win. That major jackpot is at $1,000 and 48 balls or less to win. And the mega jackpot, of course, is at 10 grand grand and 45 balls or less to win. But we do have a little bit of Minnesota Twins news to get into because we got 3 Twins players with something specific to prove this year. Can Joe Ryan excel against good teams? Can Jorge Polanco fill Luis Arraez's that's so tough for me to say. OBP void. Can Jose Miranda play third base effectively? Those are a few of the questions that we have. And what are you thinking about Joe Ryan doing?
Okay, yeah, to get it started off, Joe Ryan got his first kind of full go at it this past season.
Yeah.
He showed a lot of good promise. He has all the arm talent in the world to be able to be a good a great starting caliber pitcher, and I think he's just going to improve each and every year. And so I think because he's so young and still developing as a prospect, I think yeah, we could see him, improve to being a guy who can take on those top-tier batters from very talented teams.
Exactly, and maybe be a little bit more consistent, not be as so all over the place and sporadic as he was. Doing well against those maybe not as good teams, and then kind of falling off a little bit when he's finally getting up to some good competition. So definitely will be fun to see this year how he can improve and get better and, of course, help out the team a little bit. I'm really excited. I think he's going to end up doing better, too. So exciting stuff to see.
Next question, I don't think I have as positive of a take on it.
No.
Can Jorge Polanco fill Luis Reyes's OBP void? Luis Reyes was one of the best batters in MLB last year. There's not a way to fill the void that Luis Reyes has left behind. So we are going to have to just play really well and hope that we can, fill it in somewhat. And then other players from outside, but not one player can fill that void. It's going to be a team effort of just becoming a better batting team as a whole. And hopefully that means more wins for us. And we don't need to necessarily have one player that bats as good as Luis Reyes does.
Yeah, 100%. But of course, I'm going to say no. I don't think he's going to be able to fill that void on his own. I think, like you said, it's going to be a team effort to kind of be able to do that. So it's going to be something weird to see. Just not having that batting champion, it's going to be a pretty decent hit to the offense. But of course, last question on this little list we got. Can Jose Miranda play third base effectively? And I hope so.
Yeah, that's one of those questions that I really just don't know. I haven't watched a ton on Jose Miranda and what he can do as a third baseman, and what it takes to be a third baseman is something that's completely out of my grasp of comprehension. And so, Jose Miranda, it's more of just, I hope you can play third base effectively so that we can get another player that's a top tier out on there on the field.
Well, 100%. So looking forward to seeing how we perform this season. I have a pretty good feeling about it, to be honest. I think we've been bad too long now. I think we're due for a kind of like a comeback, kind of bounce back season, and I can definitely see it happening this year. But of course, as you guys know, we here at Pilot Games have teamed up with the Minnesota Twins. You can play that E-Tab game we teamed up with them for, Twins Win, today wherever Pilot Games are played. So definitely check it out. Let us know what you think about it. We love hearing back from you guys. But in the meantime, as you are checking out those E-Tab games, playing some bingo, we got some game day bingo standings to get into. It's what you guys are earning right now, or earning points for right now. You're playing game day bingo, so let's take a look at who the top 10 best of you guys are, and we got them right here. I'll let you get into it.
Yeah, before we do so, though, we are really closing in on this minor jackpot. People are still in line too. We may have clicked past it at this point. We'll see. I'm waiting for this last ball. Okay, we've moved past it. $35.90 on the Musco. But in Game Day Bingo, in 10th place, getting bumped back from a 9th place tie, it's DGG over at Sherwood Lounge with 15,000 points. With 17,000 points breaking out of that tie, we got KRC over at Chanticleer Pizza Maple Grove. Before I get into our top 8, though, we got to talk about the Musco winner.
That's right. It's none other than Laura K over our place on 3rd and Faribault, taking away $35.90. Nice job to you, Laura.
Yeah, well, now I will get back into these player standings for the Game Day Bingo standings. As you guys get enrolled into a game number 11 already game number 11 of Game Day Bingo. We're only here for 2 more games with you guys, so make sure you're getting enrolled in press and play. 60 balls or less for the minor. But in 8th place in these Game Day Bingo standings, we got Brother Nate over at the Chart House. 6th place is a 2-way tie between Bucko at Green Lantern and Jim Rocks over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards. 4th place, we got another 2-way tie. Moving from 5th into 4th place, we got Funk over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards. And already in 4th place, 1308 over at the Red Fox Tavern. 3rd place, getting bumped out of 2nd, we got Bowl at Corner Bar Goodhue. Moving up from 3rd into 2nd, rising super quickly, we got Tanya over at Plum's Neighborhood Bar and Eatery. As that number 1 player, it's Bobo over at Corner Bar and Goodhue. Really trying to get into it as they just took over about 2 days ago, the 1st place spot, and they're going to have to watch out for Tanya maybe taking over that spot over this weekend.
Yeah, very, very true. So definitely watch out, Bobo. But of course, we do have some location standings to get into. Starting it off in 8th place, it is a 2-way tie between Sherwood Lounge and American Legion Fridley. And actually, it's a 3-way tie. Oh yeah, that's right. It is not a 3-way tie.
It was a mess up by me when I made the standings.
In 10th place, it's Sherwood Lounge with 27,000 points. But fret not, Sherwood Lounge are only about 1,000 points behind this next 2-way tie. In 8th place, it's American Legion Fridley and Red Fox Tavern, both tied up with each other. In 7th place, we got Shady's Railside. 6th place, we got VFW Spring Lake Park. 5th place is Plum's Neighborhood Bar and Eatery. Coming from outside of the standings. Yeah.
Super impressive stuff. Huge shout out to Tanya, who's been helping out that location.
That's right. But of course, in 4th place, we got Outtakes. 3rd place is Chart House. 2nd is Corner Bar and Goodhue. And 1st is, of course, Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards.
Yeah, good job to those locations and players killing it in Game Day Bingo. And if you guys aren't playing the Game Day Bingo right now, check out our eTabs. We have over 70 different charitable eTab games that you can play anytime and win huge prizes up to $1,500. All games have small bets between 50 cents and $5 with awesome bonus and free play rounds in those games. You'll definitely want to check them out. As right now, we're listening to one of John's favorite eTab games, maybe his favorite all-time eTab game. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it is called Roaring 20s. It's got a sweet time travel theme to it. You guys can go back and forth between 1920 and 2020. 2020, the more extreme lounge of it, where you can bet bigger cash with higher risk to it, or you can head on over to 1920, where you got more of that classic eTab bingo. But you even have bonus rounds in that, where you can go further back in time or further into the future. It's all lots of fun on those eTabs, so check them out.
100%, but we do have a little bit of stuff to get into, a little bit of music history happening on this day. And on this day, all the way back in 1979, YMCA by the Village People goes to number 2 in America, where it stays for 3 weeks, unable to overtake fellow disco stalwarts La Freak and Do You Think I'm Sexy. In many other territories, including Australia, Canada, and the UK, the song does go to number 1.
One of my favorite things about the song, the YMCA, was the YMCA actually hated it at first.
Yeah,
they were against, I think they ended up coming after the Village People for releasing that song, and then later on,
I think they tried to sue or something like that.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that, and then they ended up later on using it as their jingle.
Oh really? I didn't even know that they ended up using it. That's
yeah,
so
it was
funny.
they ended up using it for advertisements and everything like that, and it kind of became their song.
Yeah, I know they did start going by the Y though, so they're not really the YMCA anymore.
No, they aren't. You just see the Y now.
Yeah, which is interesting, trying to get away from that past of the Village People.
The YMCA.
That's right.
It's so good. The song is so entertaining, and to do all the movements is fun as well.
100%, especially for kids.
Yeah.
I feel like it definitely is a good song for the YMCA.
Oh, for sure.
It's fun too. But of course, we do have a second little tidbit to get into on this day in music history. All the way back in 2013, Beyonce invigorates the 2013 Super Bowl halftime show with a performance that ended up reuniting Destiny's Child. And I remember this one actually.
Yes, it was a huge one. I mean, it was all over social media, as it was the first time we had seen Destiny's Child together in forever, and it was super fun to see them perform for the halftime show.
It's funny because I've seen probably every Super Bowl since 2010.
Yes, even though you just became a football fan 2 or 3 years ago.
Exactly, but it's just I always watched because my grandpa always made an event of it. But We do have a couple winners. We got Bobo over Quarter Bar and Goodhue and 69 T-Bird over at VFW Crystal. Both of them splitting up $54 and making this minor jackpot go into the very last game of this lunch hour bingo. We got $258 on that minor jackpot and 62 balls or less to win, along with the major and mega jackpot both on the line as well.
That was a really... that was a really entertaining Super Bowl. It was the Colin Kaepernick-led 49ers and the Joe Flacco-led Ravens. You had
funny.
old Ray Lewis on that team, too.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool. And it's funny, you can actually look back during that time because it's like within the first 5 years of Joe Flacco's career. And you look at the first 5 years of Joe Flacco's career and the first 5 years of
Tom Brady?
of Patrick Mahomes' career.
Oh,
and,
they look very
and
similar.
they are just like almost exactly the same.
Nah,
It's
man. Does not
really
bode
fun.
well for Patrick.
No, but Patrick's about to go to another Super Bowl
True.
and may even win a second. So
True.
that would instantly put him above Joe Flacco's status if he hasn't already passed it at this point.
At this point. I mean, people are even arguing, would he be first ballot if he retired right now
Yeah.
as a quarterback?
No.
You don't think so?
I just think you have to play longer to be first ballot.
That's true. He's only been 5 seasons.
Like maybe if he completed the rest of his career, never getting any more like accomplishments or anything like that, and he just kind of had a solid rest of his career kind of thing.
It's kind of whatever. He was never like that good again. He
Yes,
was, like,
exactly.
Always maybe like Matthew Stafford level. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
like after that,
Yeah.
but like he may be a first ballot Hall of Famer at that point.
Yeah,
But I feel like he can't just retire right now and be a first ballot. There's too many
Do you
greats.
think that if he just got so like obviously I don't want this to happen, but do you think if he just got so crazy injured, you know what I mean, that he just like had to stop his career right now, do you think they would just give him the Hall of Fame?
Oh, he would definitely get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's any question that Patrick Mahomes doesn't get into the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
no matter when he retires now.
You don't think
I just don't think first ballot Hall of
yeah.
Famer is something that would happen to him if his career gets
Even
derailed.
if it wasn't just him, like whatchamacallit, just trying to retire.
Yeah, I think no matter what, it's kind of just I don't think
It's not enough because the NFL Hall of Fame is a little. They're pretty strict about when you get to the skilled positions. I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, I move with linemen and stuff like that. I feel like it can be pretty open. I feel like just because linemen are pretty all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know how to gauge linemen and everything like that.
Yeah.
All I know is that Patrick Mahomes, and you're gonna look at his career stats compared to like a bunch of other quarterbacks from this generations of good quarterbacks that have just came in, and he's gonna have a poor resume compared to those quarterbacks if he just stopped right now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So. That's kind of where I sit. Like if Jalen Hurts wins this Super Bowl this year and then continues to be a prolific quarterback, competing for MVPs, he'll have a better resume than Patrick Mahomes in just a few years. So it's one of those things that Patrick Mahomes will be a first ballot Hall of Famer because I don't predict anybody to get injured like that.
Not if his career stopped right now. Though.
Yeah, but if his career stopped right now, I don't think he's first ballot at least.
I got you.
But we are getting into this final game of Game Day Bingo. Hopefully you guys are trying to win some points here. And if you guys take home any jackpots throughout today, whether it's live bingo, e-tabs, or just having a good time playing with your friends, we love to see player pictures of it. You can send in those player pictures by direct messaging us on Facebook, posting them onto any of your social media with the hashtag PilotGames, or you could email them to jackpots@pilotgames.com. All those are great ways for us to be able to show those things off.
Oh, 100%. But of course, we do have, since we're playing Game Day Bingo, we got a little bit of Vikings news to get into. We got 5 Vikings players that we want to stick around and should stick around for the 2023 season. Starting off, obvious, Daniil Hunter. I think it's just like
first 3 are
brings a
obviously
lot,
just
yeah.
lift off the first 3. And then
Daniil Hunter, Patrick Peterson, Harrison Smith. I mean, they are the core of our defense.
Yeah.
They're the only reason we weren't the worst.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
So those are the 3. I think that's easy. Second 2, we can have more of a conversation about.
Sure.
Garrett Bradbury and Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, I think, is a must because we need to extend him to create enough cap space so that we can actually have a team next year. And then Garrett Bradbury, he had so much improvement this last year that I would love to see him back in the Vikings uniform.
I agree, honestly. But we do have so-and-so over at McCarran's Grill and Pub in Maplewood taking away $301.99. Nice job to you. Excuse me, nice job to you, so-and-so over at McCarran's Grill and Pub, taking away a nice jackpot in the last game. But, of course, we do have a great player spotlight to get into as we are ending off this broadcast. This week, we are spotlighting none other than Policy Man over at Neeson's Gaylord. They took away $10,161 this past weekend, making them the biggest jackpot winner of that weekend. And when they won that huge jackpot, they were supporting a great cause, the Gaylord Fire. And, of course, their mission is to be responsible for fire suppression, rescue, fire code enforcement, and public fire education. So it's all really good stuff. It always brings us right back around to whenever you guys play pilot games, your community wins. Have a nice day.
See ya.
There it is. 53 balls.
We're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota. Saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous days!
Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skol, 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 baby!
Really cool seeing John Kriesel. Really cool listening to him talk and his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite.
I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts, drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience.
Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.
This is fantastic. I've never been anything like this before.
It's almost like being in a haunted house without people jumping out at you.
The decorations are amazing. Jack wanted to get his picture next to the skeleton, and I was taking the picture. I was like, oh my gosh, that's prosciutto.
PyCon 2022. I think it's amazing. It's just wonderful. Everybody's welcoming, they're helpful. It's just so much fun.
If you get an opportunity, go for it. The people, all the different decorations, the food, just the excitement.
And then to see ZZ Top at the end of this, awesome.
We're here for ZZ Top. I'm a huge fan of ZZ Top.
ZZ Top.
I love winning on the pilot games. I won $2,800 a month ago.
She won $48,000 on bingo. Yeah, baby.
I won $13.28 plus $48,000.
$30,000, $20,000 at Bleachers Bar.
We have each other pick our bonuses and, for good luck or whatever. And
Everybody can kind of get in on the fun.
It was amazing. I loved it. I would come back.
It was awesome.
Get me on that list. I'm here.
I will be here next year, absolutely. And you should be too.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
There it is. 53 balls.
We're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous Days!
Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skull, 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 baby!
Really cool seeing John Creasel. Really cool listening to him talking his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite.
I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts, drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience.
Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.
This is fantastic. I've never been anything like this before.
It's almost like being in a haunted house without people jumping out at you.
The decorations are amazing. Jack wanted to get his picture next to the skeleton, and I was taking the picture. I was like, oh my gosh, that's prosciutto.
PyCon 2022. I think it's amazing. It's just wonderful. Everybody's welcoming. They're helpful. It's just so much fun.
If you get an opportunity, go for it. The people, all the different decorations, the food, just the excitement.
And then to see ZZ Top at the end of this, awesome.
We're here for ZZ Top. I'm a huge fan of ZZ Top.
ZZ Top.
I love winning on the pilot kicks. I won $2,800 a month ago.
She won $48,000 on bingo. Yeah, baby.
I won $13.28 plus $48,000.
$30,000, $20,000 at Bleachers Bar.
We have each other pick our bonuses and, for good luck or whatever. And
Everybody can kind of get in on the fun.
It was amazing. I loved it. I would come back.
It was awesome. Get me on that list. I'm here.
I will be here next year, absolutely. And you should be too.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
There it is. 53 balls.
We're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous days!
Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skol, 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 baby! Really cool seeing John Creasel. Really cool listening to him talking his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite. I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts, drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience.
Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.
This is fantastic. I've never been anything like this before.
It's almost like being in a haunted house without people jumping out at you.
The decorations are amazing. Jack wanted to get his picture next to the skeleton, and I was taking the picture. I was like, oh my gosh, that's prosciutto.
PyCon 2022. I think it's amazing. It's just wonderful. Everybody's welcoming. They're helpful. It's just so much fun.
If you get an opportunity, go for it. The people, all the different decorations, the food, just the excitement.
And then to see ZZ Top at the end of this, awesome.
We're here for ZZ Top. I'm a huge fan of ZZ Top.
ZZ Top.
I love winning on the pilot kicks. I won $2,800 a month ago.
She won $48,000 on bingo. Yeah, baby.
I won $13.28 plus $48,000.
$30,000, $20,000 at Bleachers Bar.
We have each other pick our bonuses and, for good luck or whatever. And
Everybody can kind of get in on the fun.
It was amazing. I loved it. I would come back.
It was awesome. Get me on that list. I'm here.
I will be here next year, absolutely. And you should be too.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
There it is. 53 balls.
at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous days!
Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skol, 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 baby!
Really cool seeing John Creasel. Really cool listening to him talk and his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite. I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson!
Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts, drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience.
Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.